Hey guys, my name is Danae. I'm back with the Philadelphia Sunday Sun here every Sunday at 2 p.m. with my show, A Millennial Voice, the show. And I'm so excited to be here today with Shai. I actually found, what are your pronouns?
Her, she,
Her. Okay.
Her.
I actually found her on Twitter. I've been following her for a while, and she has this really great platform. She describes herself as a human ball of digital fun, which I think is just so expressive. And you guys know I'm all about energy. So I'm going to let Shai introduce herself, and then we're going to get into the show.
Hi guys, I'm Shai. I don't even know what to call myself, but I am a great ball of digital fun. I started with, I went to school for digital marketing. So that's my love. I love the whole marketing and seeing everything happen from paper to reality. And I also have my own mental health gift shop. So I'm a business owner, and my store is basically for people who not suffer, but are victims of mental health. And it don't have to be that, because we all just have horrible days, and I've had horrible years. And my store serves as like a you're not alone type thing. So anything as far as posters, enamel pins, keychains is always a reminder to it's a bad day, not a bad life.
Yeah. So I'm happy that you said that, because your store is called Not a Bad Life. And I was just wondering, what encouraged you to name your business that? Because I think, sometimes it's really easy for us to think, we're having bad days, bad weeks, and then people are like, my life just sucks, when that's really not the case. So why did you feel like it was important to name your mental health business that?
For that exact reason, because as soon as something bad happens, it's like, oh my God, my life is over. And it's so easy for us to say that. And I've been through, honestly, this is probably my first year where I'm doing really well. I've had horrible years and I thought my life was over, but it really just was bad moments. And that's just really what it is. And I just want everybody to know that it's okay to have bad days, bad weeks, bad years. Like, it'll all, as long as you chug through. And that's what I did. And that's kind of what I want to push for my store and me personally. I just want to make everybody like smile and be happy.
Yeah. So as a person who's gone through their own bouts with trauma and maybe some sort of depression or anxiety or what have you, how did you come to terms with the fact that, yes, it might be a bad day, but it's not a bad life? Like, how did you get to that point? Because I think oftentimes, again, people get in these spaces and they kind of feel stuck. And it takes a lot of mental work to be like, okay, you know what? Today might suck. This week might suck. This month might not look like I want it to. This year is whatever, but it's not a bad life. How did you get to that point yourself of realizing that?
I think it's two things. One is I have a really good support system. Like, my friends, they remind me all the time how great I am, how it's going to be okay, how they're there for me. And then even besides that, I just got tired of being upset all the time. It's just like, you ever have those moments where if something bad happens, it's just like from there, all bad things just happen. And it's not really anything you could do about it. And it like sucks so bad. Yeah. But I think I got tired of just being sad about it and moping about it. And it's just like, either I'm gonna fix it if I can fix it, or if I can't, I will move on and I will, move from that and learn from that. So I think that comes with just, I'm glad I do that now, because life is not, it's going to be ups and downs. Even if I just said I'm having a good year, anything could happen. And I would have to learn to just, push through it, call on my support system and,
Yeah. So on your website, I noticed that you do some blog writing as well, which I was really impressed by, because you really just do everything. And on there you get, and in your blogs, you give some advice on, how to cope with different things, how to kind of like maneuver. One of my favorites was not necessarily dealing with this topic, but it was men. It was something about men. It's not gay to like care for yourself. And I love that so much. Yeah. So I checked out your page and I saw that you gave some really great advice on how to kind of overcome anxiety and things like that. What's one tidbit of advice that you would give yourself maybe 5-10 years ago before you started this platform?
As far as things, that's a great question. And I think it would be to be more expressive with the people that I love. It's very easy for me to be like, okay, I'm going through something. I don't want to talk to nobody. Everybody get on my nerves. I hate everybody. I just want to handle it myself. I want to soak it in myself. But I've learned to lean on my friends. And I've had these same friends for years. And I just feel like last year is when I honestly started to get to know them more, because I'm very distant and I did not know that. And since I've been leaning on them more, it has helped me a lot. Like, when I think about them, I want to cry. It helped me a lot. So I say, like, lean on your people. Lean
Right.
on your tribe. Like, and everyone says, I have nobody. Everyone has somebody.
Yeah.
I think that's the piece of advice I would give and myself. And I think another piece would be to take it slow. Like stuff happens and I used to just get frantic. I
Mhm.
was like, oh my God, I'm freaking out. And now I'm at a point where something bad had happened or
Mhm.
something like, something dumb, like, oh my God, my tire is done. I just gotta go to work and it sucks and I'll cry. Now I'm just like, okay, I'll fix it, like whatever.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. And how have you noticed that those small changes or implementing those small things, how have you noticed that it's changed your life?
yeah, I'm honestly happier. Like
Mhm.
happy is an emotion. So of course I'm not happy every day, but I am, let's say I'm more content with things. So I know that bad things are going to happen. Before, like as far as my anxiety, I would get scared. Like every day I'm just like, God, what is going to happen to me today? I don't feel like it.
Mhm.
Now I don't worry about if something bad is going to happen. If something does come up, I know that I will be able to fix it. And if I can't, then like, oh well, like if I can't do anything about it, it's no point in me like being super sad about it all the time.
Right. And I'm happy that you brought up, the fact that you're not happy every day. I think people get this idea that when, you start to heal and you start to evolve and you get into a different space, that you can't be anything but happy. It's like, I'm happy every single day, which I heard is called toxic happiness, which a lot of people don't know exists. So I'm really happy that you're kind of bringing up the fact that, you're healing, and you're, continuing to heal from things from your past, but that every day isn't easy. Some days are up, some days are down. So I'm really happy that you're bringing this up in conversation, which leads me back to your business. So again, we've talked about mental health and things along those lines. How has your past kind of worked its way into your business and what you see for your future?
That is also a great. I love this. I love this conversation. It's a great question. So let's see if I can do a quick timeline. So when I started my blog, I was in grad school and I started it because I think my senior year of college is when I started to realize that I thought something was wrong with me. And it come to find out I was dealing with depression. It was just a horrible time.
Mhm.
And I was going to grad school. I felt like I graduated college and I didn't have anything to show for. So I
Mhm.
started a blog. Like I literally started a random blog and I wanted it to be like a BuzzFeed type thing. And it didn't work out because it was too much.
Mhm.
So then I turned it into basically like, I think I called it Everything's Happening. So anything that was far as like, how do you get prepared for Monday to make your Mondays better? And
Mhm.
honestly, it was for me. It wasn't for anyone else but me. I
Right.
need those words because the platforms that I would see, they would say, self-love and do this, but it was corny. And I feel like they didn't connect. It was just like something that they know they're supposed to say.
Right.
So
Right.
I created Butter Blog for me. And I started to make a whole bunch of blogs about like, hey guys, how do you have a positive day? Or if somebody got you effed up, how do you go from there? Or something
Yeah.
like that. And
Uh-huh.
it goes on. So from there, and I started with Not a Bad Life in March. So it hasn't even been a year yet. And
Wow.
I was like, okay, I don't want to do blogs for the rest of my life.
Uh-huh.
So how can I transition all this into something like physical? And
Right.
that's when I came up with Not a Bad Life and I just switched everything over. And each and every item literally has a piece of me. I've sketched it out. I've sent it to like a friend. Shout out to Bam.
Mhm.
My friend, he's a digital marketer. And I'm like, can you make this look pretty? And he's like, yes. And then I'll send it off to a manufacturer and they'll make it. And little stuff like that helps. It makes you smile. It serves as a reminder. It serves as conversation pieces. People come up to me all the time about my enamel pens.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. It helps build the conversation around mental health. Or when I talk to guys and they ask me about my enamel pens, I'm like, yeah, mental health guy. Like, do you cry? I always ask guys, do you cry? When the last time you cried? So
I'm
yeah.
sorry. I'm just curious. Do they ever like answer
Yeah,
truthfully?
they do.
Wow.
When I talk to people, I smile and I look at them, so I feel like I force them to answer.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, they answer, and me talking about it helps them even not even realize, because they'll talk about like, yeah, I know about that. Like I think about therapy, and I'm like, okay, cool. So and it'll be like they'll follow my blog and they'll start talking about it and opening up, and even if that's like one person a month or every other 6 months or something like that, it's really cool to see
Yeah.
that you care. They just need somebody to kind of lead the conversation.
Right, right. I love this topic so much. So I grew up with all men, all boys in my family. And so me and my cousins were just having a conversation about this, how it seems that Black men specifically tend to be or feel more comfortable being vulnerable with women. So I'm really happy that you've kind of, implemented yourself in that space and have cultivated and created that space for people to heal. And it's so cool knowing that the work that you've done and the things that you've written and the things that you've created are really making a difference in, starting conversations. And I really loved your pins. They're so, so cute. So how do you come up with some of the sayings? I know some of them are affirmations, but for example, like the one that I was cracking up over was the little spray bottle that said it was an F-boy repellent. I love that. How do you come up with these ideas?
I was mad at a boy that day. And I was talking to my friends and I'm like, I wish I had a spray to get them away.
No, I love that. Okay, I love that. I love that. And so, okay, you're doing the pins, you're doing the blogs. What else are you doing?
Hopefully this year I can get into events. My first event will be tailored towards Black men. So having a space, but my store is a gift shop. So everything that I do, everything that I will sell in the future is like normal stuff with like anything that I would say. So Post-its, prints that I have coming out, more keychains, and of course I have like my t-shirts, so apparel and stuff like that. Your everyday, like even like you're wearing a headband right now, I could release a headband that tailors to something like that. I just want it to be something that everybody can get. Like nothing where, like, not saying it's not super exclusive, because it is exclusive because it's mine, but something that we can all get our hands on. But when we look at it, it's like, oh my God, my phone is reminding me to have a good day. I like something.
I love that. Okay, so now let's talk a little bit about the past 2 years. So you started your business in March 2021, which is still kind of the middle of the pandemic. And a lot of people have, been cited having mental health issues during this time, or experiencing some sort of depressive behaviors, or finding out that they had these conditions that they didn't realize they had. So did any of that play a role in why you started your business when you did?
No, I'm lying. Yes, it did. I remember the conversation I had before I started the actual rollout. So the original reason why I started it is because my enamel pins, like the first two that I released, I've been sitting on them for 3 years. I didn't know what to do. I knew I wanted to do this, and I think I was just scared. And then I was thinking about the pandemic, and I'm just like, man, I'm about to just do it. Like, all this stuff is happening. What am I waiting for? And then I was talking to a friend of mine. I'm like, this is honestly the perfect time, because we're all going through stuff. And and then I just released it. I think before I released, I was thinking too much about it. And then when I did it, I'm like, oh, I should have been did this. This is fun.
That seems like how it often is. So I'm loving these pins. I'm loving the topic of these pins because they are so unique and they're so specific in their own way. And I love that. I love anything that's unique. And I keep saying love, but I love. Yes. Okay. So you mentioned that they can tend to start conversations, or have often been conversation pieces. What's been one of your favorite conversations that have spawned from your pin being kind of a catalyst for a conversation?
Oh, okay. I was on Broughton Erie, right? I was going to this bar called the Clock Bar. And I was having a good time. I think I had, because some nights I'll really be the pin lady. Like, I'll have them all over, but I think I had a collared shirt on. I had it. And this guy was like, oh, I like this pin. Where did you get this? I'm like, oh, it's mine. He was like, I know it's yours, but where did you get it? So I'm like, I pulled up my website. I'm like, it's mine. And he was like, oh, well, what made you do that? And we literally had a long conversation about it. And I was telling him about affirmations, and he was like, do they work? And I'm like, yeah, they work. They're special chants. Like, it don't have to be these, but it could be your own special chant. He was like, well, I want a job. Like, what chant would that be for? And I'm like, well, if you're doing the job search, it could be a simple chant. Like, today I'm going to find a job. Like, today is the day. And he was like, today is the day. I'm like, yep, today is the day. So we both went inside the Clock Bar, and we was probably in there for like an hour or so, and I was with my friends. But before he left, he was like, today is the day, and I'm gonna keep saying that until I get a job. I was like, that's right. And it was just so genuine and nice. Yeah, it was wonderful.
Love that. I love that. And affirmations are something that's so simple, but I think a lot of people have a hard time reciting them or saying them. Why would you think that is?
I think it's because it's something they're not used to. Because when I started who introduced me to affirmations? I think my therapist. When I first started saying them, I didn't feel comfortable because I'm not used to it, and I'm just like, what is this about to do?
Yeah.
But it really is a something you have to work your way through, and you start
Right.
believing it, and then you start tailoring it to your own thing. Like, you don't have to find affirmations on the internet. It could be anything that you want as long as you believe it. So I think that's what it is.
Yeah, yeah. So, okay, so we talked about your business, but you have a lot of other things going on as well. Like you're doing social media marketing and stuff for a whole bunch of brands, not even just in the city of Philadelphia, but just around the area, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're working with, I think you said 40 brands
Yeah.
around.
I have worked with 40 brands. Right now,
Okay.
I think I'm working with 3, and I can name one because she's a smaller business.
Mhm.
But yeah. So yeah,
Okay.
a lot.
Yeah, yeah, and that's awesome. So, how important would you say it is for a small business to know how to market themselves? And what do you think that people tend to do wrong?
So I think it's very important,
Mhm.
because especially now that we have the internet, and literally with traditional marketing, you didn't get that. Like with billboards and stuff, maybe, but passing out flyers, that's all your city based, right?
Uh-huh.
So you market your business through the internet, and you're reaching so many other people.
Mhm.
Um, like, if I didn't run ads for Not a Bad Life, I wouldn't know that. Mostly, honestly, my huge all my customers are in LA and Ohio, and I
What?
would have never guessed that exactly.
Yeah.
So that's why I said that's how you find your target audience. And
Mhm.
so I think it's very important for you to have the basics: a mission statement, a good handle, photos for your Instagram,
Excuse me.
bless you.
Thank you.
Learn how to educate your audience based on whatever your industry is. One of my clients, she's a beauty, I would call her a beauty brand, wellness brand.
Mhm.
And she also an esthetician. She makes her own body care and stuff like that. So I'm
Yeah.
like, this is great. You have so much information we can repurpose into content for your social media. So
Yeah.
I think it's very important. I think with people mess up, what was the second question?
I was just saying, like, where do people typically drop the ball at when it comes to social media marketing?
They don't want to put any money into it. They
Mm.
don't, and they're not serious about it.
Yeah.
They're not consistent, because everyone sees the people who got like 30K followers, and they like, well, this person got this many followers, and they don't realize that a lot of times people buy their followers. A
Yeah.
lot of times they have those followers because they are a certain type of person,
Mhm.
and that has nothing to do with their sales. Because compared to, I've seen small businesses who have like 500 followers and their sales are crazy.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter. Yeah. So I think the whole, the whole image on the internet is what people worry about too much
Right.
initially.
Right. Okay. So, as somebody who went to school for this, how has social media changed the way that we, I guess, move goods across the country, in our communities, in our states, or what have you? And also, do you think that word of mouth still has relevance? Do you still think that it's important, or do you think that the focus should just be mainly social media?
Word of mouth, I say this all the time. Word of mouth, traditional marketing is still very important. I
Okay.
like, when I launched Not a Bad Life, I have posted flyers everywhere.
Mhm.
I tell people that billboards still work, little paper mailers and stuff, all the like the corny stuff, the traditional stuff, which I love. It still works.
Okay.
Word of mouth works great, because I have people that write me on my personal Instagram like, hey, such and such told me about your digital marketing services. Can you help?
Yeah.
And I don't really promote my services like that anymore, because I have a full-time job for it, and I have like set clients, and
Uh-huh.
I'll still get people coming and saying, oh, such and such referred me.
Yeah.
So word of mouth works really well, especially if you're good at your job. So if you're good
Right.
at your job, people are going to talk about it.
Yeah.
Or the other side too, if you're bad, people are going to talk about it.
No, that's definitely true. People will definitely talk if it's bad.
Yeah, but as to how social media changed, it's a great thing business wise, because like I said before, we're allowed to connect with people like, I have friends in the UK right now, and
Wow.
we follow each other from Not a Bad Life. They buy some of my stuff, I'll buy some of their things,
Yeah.
and that also allows me to get connected in the UK, because they're sharing my stuff with other people from the UK, and I'm getting more followers from the UK,
Right.
or whatever city. So I think it honestly is a blessing.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, your journey is so interesting and amazing, because you already have a creative mind, which is like the first step, and then you know how to market yourself. And so it's taking you to the next level. You're doing all the right things. You set yourself up in a great way. And I just love to see another Black woman win. This is amazing.
Words of affirmation is my love language. So stop giving me compliments because I'm falling in love.
You're so cute. You're so cute. Okay. But that was the last question I had for you. Is there anything else that you wanted to say before we depart?
I love you. Shop not a bad life.
Oh, thank you so much. Well, guys, you heard it here first. You guys are going to check out Shai. What's your Instagram?
Shea Butter.
Okay.
SHAIBUTTAA.
Okay, and that's where they can find your products and everything as well. Okay, so you heard it here first. Check out her stuff. You know, she got more things coming up. We looking for headbands, we looking for merch, we looking for Check out her pins. They're dope. They're sick. And I also want to thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of A Millennial Voice, the show. Again, I'm here every Sunday at 2 p.m. with the Philadelphia Sunday Sun. And if you guys are interested in purchasing our newspaper, it's only $40 a year, and you can get us in print. But again, Shai, thank you so much for talking to me, and I'm looking forward to connecting with you off the record because I have some more questions. So,
of course.
All right, have a great day.
You too. Enjoy your snow day.
Thanks. Bye.